All right, thanks everyone. We're super excited to have you here, and the agenda is well, this is our introduction. I know we're going to be covering some of our key features here in Wave 3 around mobile GIS redlining, which I think is an amazing differentiator. I'll say one or two words about this. Is that at the previous companies I've worked at, mainly I'd say Salesforce and some other Salesforce partners, uh, they don't have this ability. In order to do everything we do, that our customers had to use literally 3 apps. One app that managed the schedule, one app with GIS, and one app for dynamic forms and work order debrief. We do that in one app, and GIS redlines are requests I heard multiple times. It's not easy to do, and we have this now, and I think it's a true differentiator on the mobile side. Chatbot is pretty cool feature as far as innovation and what we could do. Also on the mobile, and a bunch of other smaller features that we've released here. And so we're going to go through this, some short demos, and highlight it. It's at the higher level, and then we'll have more documentation, and later on we can do a bit more technical deep dive as needed. And with that, I'll hand it over to you, Luca. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Let me take control on this. So, ciao everyone. So let's start with the first picture, actually. So the mobile GIS redlining. As always, in the process of developing this new feature, we started from the challenge that needed to be addressed. So our technician often heavily rely on these maps and multiple GIS data when working in the field, and this map provide critical information about the location of the asset, the infrastructure, the terrain, and other relevant spatial data. However, the real world, as you might know, is dynamic with new infrastructure being built, land transform, and so forth. So a lot of GIS data can easily become outdated. And until now, when technicians have encountered inaccurate GIS data, they have needed to document any changes on paper or via email or other inefficient way and communicate it to the back office for updating. And the back office will be required to pinpoint the exact location and figure out what and how to update this data to reflect the current situation in the field. And it could take ages, so weeks or longer, for GIS data to get updated, review it, and publish back out to the technician, basically. So starting from the challenge that I've described previously, we decide to address this problem for many reasons. Our main focus is on linear asset. The customer we serve manage a vast network of pipelines and transmission line for delivering water, gas, and electricity. Also, field technicians heavily rely on GIS map to track the location and attribute of these assets. And it is paramount that the collaboration on this data needs to be at its finest. And discrepancies between the map and and the actual infrastructure on the ground can lead to confusion, inefficiency, and potential safety concerns. So not to consider that these inaccurate or obsolete maps can hinder effective communication and decision-making process. So the mobile GIS redlining feature give the technician the possibility to mark the inaccuracy or the inaccuracies or changes needed directly on the map based on what they actually see in the field. They can access the GIS map on their mobile devices and compare it with the actual infrastructure they encounter. If they identify any change, they can use the redlining feature to mark up the updated information directly on the map on a dedicated layer. So, for example, if a new gas pipeline has been installed, the technician can draw the pipeline path on the map and attach all the relevant information to it, such as installation date, material used, and so forth, as we will see later on in the demo. The updated data is then passed over to the back office for review, and then this will significantly improve the time needed to get this GIS data back in field technicians' hands, basically. And these live updates ensure accuracy, boost efficiency, and enhance safety measures. Entering information right at the point of the observation directly on the map also reduce the likelihood of errors and ensure accurate and up-to-date records. And this feature empowers technicians to contribute to map accuracy, basically revolutionizing how they manage and update this information on the map. Before jumping into the demo, I would just stop for a second also to discuss about the values that we bring with our with our new feature. We streamline field operation because the time spent to update the system is dramatically reduced now. We give the tool to establish a process around GIS data upload and update, sorry. And as Daniel said, basically, we centralize, we have just one single point of access to also do this kind of operation. We foster collaboration across the organization, allowing the annotation on the map to be shared with the back office team instantly. And this facilitates better communication as everyone involved can access the most recent field observation and updates, ensuring that all stakeholders rely on the latest information to work. We expedite field data collection, so annotation made on the map provide clear visual context to reduce misunderstanding and promote seamless work. And last but not the least, considering all the process put in place, thanks to this new functionality, we allow customer to save time and cost. So being saying that, I think we can also jump to the demo. So let's see how actually this feature works. So again, by accessing our FSM mobile and from the agenda accessing on the map, the user has the possibility to place itself in the right position. It can activate the dedicated layer, the redlining layer in this case, and one through the dedicated functionality, of course. Once he finds himself in the right position in the map where he wants to do the annotation, he can activate, thanks to the button on the top bar, the redlining feature. And then by leveraging a dedicated template, it can do different kind of annotation. It can annotate, for example, as we are seeing here, a line. So just by tapping on the screen of the smartphone, but it can also be a tablet for sure, it can redline on the map. This means that this line, of course, can be fine-tuned with the white dots that you have seen, and also you can update some details about the new layer that is basically feeding the system with. It can be the creation user, the date that has been created, and so forth. And please take in consideration that all this data come from a template that is pre-configured in the ESRI portal. Once completed, the information is straight away is sent back to the server. And again, this is done in a dedicated layer, in a redlining layer, which is not the official one, the production one, okay? At the same time, as we have seen for the line, we can also do some dots, some points, sorry. So in this case, again, by selecting the template we want to use, we can just tap with our fingers on with our finger on the screen, add it, edit the attributes again that based on the template might vary. It depends on the customer basically and how the system is configured. But it's not only about adding information, we can also edit the already existing information. So again, if we tap in the service in the part that we want to change, to modify, by using the modify tab here, as you can see, we can edit attributes or edit geometry. Let's start with the geometry. Basically, we can move things around. Again, things that are in this specific layer. So as per this case, just by tapping again in the new position, we can move the point. We can edit the attribute that we previously inserted by using the edit attribute functionality. And in this case, as you can see, we have the pre-configured information, well, actually information that we previously input, and then we add new ones. And again, once we click confirm, that same the information is then sent to the server. I just want to point out again, an important thing here is the fact that we don't give the field worker the possibility to edit or modify the official GIS information directly on the field. There is a dedicated layer that is then reviewed and then is handled by a back office user. And once is happy with the information that the field worker has put in the system, can promote this information to the official layer. So then everyone will be able to access this new information. So this ends the first mobile feature, the first big mobile feature. I just want to take a second to also talk about an additional feature that we released on the mobile, again on the FSM mobile, which is the GIS address search. So within the map, we have now the possibility, thanks to the lens tool that you can find on the top bar, to input an address and basically to search directly on the map on a specific address to be positioned there, to overview the area, to access to GIS information, or eventually also to work order information before going there. So no more the need to navigate through the finger inside the map, but we can use this feature. So now I think I'll leave the floor to you, Julia, for the mobile
Thank you,
chatbot.
Luca. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to show you the mobile chatbot feature. We know that actually often a lot of field workers need to know how to use properly an app because maybe they don't know where to find a file on the app, where to find the button on the app, how to use a new flow. They need to learn this in order to complete their activity. Let's imagine two scenarios. The first one is a junior worker that needs to complete a towering oil platform activity that is a critical activity. You know that safety checklists are very important, but he doesn't remember where to find them in the app. Another scenario is about a worker that has to perform an activity needed of a lot materials, but he doesn't know where to find this kind of information in the app. In both cases, they need help, so maybe they can call a back office colleague to ask for more information, wasting a lot of time. And moreover, in case of lacking timely support, it could be possible to put the junior workers at risk or failing to react to unexpected events. So why we release a mobile chatbot? Because with the ever-changing demand of the workforce, it's crucial that all the workers must be always up to date on the latest app, and it's very important for them to complete their activity, know how to correctly use the app, and to increase their productivity too, because maybe they can find solution themselves. So OverIT has developed the mobile chatbot that is a user-friendly chat built to provide the field workers with all the answers they need. It is powered on natural language processing, and you can interact with it with text or voice. Moreover, no matter language used, because we have integrated the multi-language support too. What are the main key points of a mobile chatbot? The first one is accessing instant because it's very easy to open the app, click the chatbot icon, and you can start to interact with it. Another one is that now for field work it's very easy to know how to use the app, and so they can solve their doubts quickly, and it is available whenever they need it outside working hours too. Moreover, mobile chatbot is connected with the official community portal pages, and we have integrated the feedback service too that is used to improve the chatbot service over time. But firstly, what are the main values of chatbot? The first one is to reduce training and onboarding time, because now field workers are can learn on the field, avoiding to call a back office colleague to ask for more information. Another one is about improving employee satisfaction, because they are able to find a solution themselves about their problem. Is in change management process, because now all workers can to be always up to date about the latest app, and increasing technicians' productivity, because we can increase the first time fix rate, because it's possible to solve all doubts quickly at the first appointment. But the chatbot is a long story. In fact, we have started in Wave 1 2023 with the voice-powered virtual assistant, where we have integrated it with the hands-free. We integrate the text-to-speech and speech-to-text, so we can interact with it with text and voice too. And we have implemented the feedback service too, as already said, to improve the service over time, thanks to our feedback that could be positive or not. Then on the Wave 2 2023, we have a chatbot that is the integration on the server side. We have connected the chatbot with the official community page, and we have implemented a navigation support through menu item that is used by some back office colleague that maybe needs more support to learn how to navigate through a very rich menu item by server side. And now we are at Wave 3 2023 with the mobile chatbot that is integrated on mobile app, and we have implemented the multi-language support too. Now I can show you a brief demo. Let's imagine that a worker has to do a meter replacement activity. He knows that he needs to collect a lot of data, but he doesn't remember where to find the data collection sheet in the app. So he can ask to the chatbot, clicking on the icon, and he starts typing hello to the chatbot, and he can respond. After that, he can send a voice request. If you see a listening label in the screen. And so then chatbot can respond with the voice, because we are interacting with it with the voice, composed by three parts. The first one is a text extract from the official page. Then there is a PDF file that the worker can download to deep the topic, and so read better where to find the button and so on. And then there is the feedback service that could be good or bad based on the chatbot service. After that, it can close the interface, and so it can complete its activity. Okay, that's all for me. I pass the ball to Daniel.
Great, thank you. Let me take control. Oh wait, where's the? Okay, sorry, here it is. Additional features. So two other, I'd say, smaller features, which I have more documentation about, is a new way to manage some permissions. And to be honest, I don't know much more detail on this, but we will be sharing the documentation. And then another one is actually something we delivered for co-innovation, which debatable how much of a feature is, but it's an audit trail. It's basically when you make changes to work orders and resources, we track this in the database. So there's no outward functionality at the moment to customers. In San Diego's use case, they're going to build some custom reports that pull this data from the database and represent it. So it's kind of an FYI, it's there. Again, there'll be a little bit documentation about this, more internal. Always open to feedback and input. I really appreciate everyone's time joining this and the questions. And I'm really excited to launch Wave 3. And I'll just say one last thing, which I should have started with, is Wave 3, we're launching, I'd say two big features as far as the redlining and the chatbot, which I think are very exciting. They really show one, that we can do everything in one app. We're really trying to push the concept of a single pane of glass, something we're hearing more and more, meaning one app to do everything. And this really shows that. And innovation on the mobile side and what technicians can do. And there was a lot of work we've done during this release, which isn't coming out. There's multi-release initiatives around appointment booking, capacity plan, forecasting, things that our teams are working on, which aren't being delivered because it's a multi-release effort. With that, thank you everyone for your time. Like we said, sharing the recordings and information, and we'll be open for questions and follow up as needed. So thank you everyone. Good day and afternoon.